There comes a time when a man stops chasing what destroys his peace, when he looks at the woman he once called home and finally realizes she was a storm, not shelter. He doesn't curse her. He doesn't beg. He simply understands that his soul has been bleeding in silence while she fed on his light, calling it love. But a smart man learns. A Stoic man observes. He doesn't react. He reflects. And so he walks away, not with anger, but with clarity. Don't chase validation. A man who seeks approval becomes her servant. The moment you need her validation, you lose your power. Validation is the silent poison that weakens a man's spirit. It creeps in when you begin to measure your worth through her reactions, her smiles, her replies, her affection. You start bending your truth to keep her interested, trimming your edges to fit her comfort. You forget that a man's value is not confirmed by how much a woman wants him, but by how little he needs to be wanted. Every time you seek her reassurance, you hand over your crown. You give her the power to define your mood, your confidence, your self-image. That's not love. That's emotional slavery. A Stoic man knows the only validation worth having is from the mirror, from the man who looks back at him each morning. Don't chase compliments. Don't crave attention. Don't beg to be seen. Because the moment you stop chasing, you become magnetic. The woman who once ignored your silence will start to crave it. Your calm will speak louder than her beauty, and she'll realize she can't control a man who doesn't need her approval. That's when you truly win. Don't explain your worth. Let your silence do what words can't. Kings don't argue, they ascend. When a man begins to explain his worth, he lowers himself to the level of those who never saw it. You can't convince someone to value gold if they've only ever been drawn to glitter. Your worth is not a debate to be won. It's a truth to be lived. The weak seek validation through words. The wise prove everything through presence. A Stoic man understands that silence is not weakness, it's power restrained. When you stop explaining yourself, you force others to confront their own blindness. Arguing for your value only drains your energy. The woman who needs proof of your strength will never feel secure in it. The one who truly sees you will never make you prove it. So hold your silence like a weapon. Let your consistency, your focus, your discipline speak louder than any justification. You don't need to shout to be respected. Your peace is your crown. Remember, kings don't stand in the marketplace arguing their price. They rise, they evolve, they don't prove, they become. And that quiet, unshakable presence, that's what separates men from boys. Don't tolerate disrespect. The first time she mocks your boundaries, you teach her how to break you. Disrespect doesn't always come in shouting or insults. Sometimes it arrives wrapped in sarcasm, disguised as jokes, or hidden behind, "I was just playing." But every time you let it slide, you silently tell her it's acceptable. And once a woman knows she can cross your line without consequence, she will do it again, with more confidence each time. A man without boundaries becomes a playground for emotional chaos. You cannot demand respect later if you didn't enforce it at the start. The Stoic man understands love. Without respect is manipulation. When she tests your patience, remain calm, but firm. Don't argue. Don't plead. Simply remove your energy from where it isn't valued. The absence of your attention will teach her more than 1,000 explanations ever could. Your peace is sacred ground. Not everyone deserves to walk on it. The first time she laughs at your standards, leave. Because if you stay, she'll learn she can shape you, and a man who allows disrespect once will soon forget what self-respect even feels like. Remember, a boundary ignored is a weakness exposed. Protect your dignity, even if it means walking alone. Don't open your soul to someone who loves your wounds. Some women don't want to heal you. They want to own you. There's a certain kind of woman who doesn't fall in love with your strength. She falls in love with your pain. She feeds on your vulnerability. Your broken edges, your silent suffering. She'll hold you close not to comfort you, but to keep you dependent, to make sure you never outgrow her grasp. She'll say she understands you, but what she truly understands is how to keep you weak. Because a healed man no longer needs saving, and a man who no longer needs saving cannot be controlled. A Stoic man guards his soul like a fortress. He doesn't bleed in front of everyone and call it intimacy. He knows that emotional exposure is sacred. It must be earned. Not every listener deserves your story. Not every embrace means safety. Some women are drawn to your scars because they fear the man you'll become once they're gone. So heal in silence, rebuild in solitude. And when you rise, rise untouched by pity. Because the man who owns his healing can never again be owned by anyone else. Don't lose yourself in her chaos. Her emotions are not your responsibility. You are not her savior. You are your own. A woman's chaos can feel intoxicating, unpredictable, passionate, consuming. It draws you in like fire in the dark. But soon that same fire begins to burn your peace, melt your focus, and turn your calm into confusion. You start walking on eggshells, trying to fix storms that were never yours to control. That's how strong men lose themselves, not through failure, but through emotional entanglement with a woman who refuses to master herself. Her moods shift like weather, and you begin to believe your role is to calm her skies. But that's not love. That's captivity. A Stoic man knows the difference between empathy and enslavement. You can understand her pain without carrying it. You can care without losing balance. You can listen without absorbing. Don't drown trying to save someone who enjoys the water. Let her face her own storms, and face yours in silence. Because when you stop trying to fix her, you find yourself again. And the man who masters his peace becomes untouchable. You were never meant to be her anchor. You were meant to be the ocean she could never control. Don't reveal everything. Mystery is a man's armor. The less she knows, the more she respects. A man loses power the moment he becomes predictable. When she can read every thought, anticipate every move, and access every piece of your mind, she no longer wonders, she assumes. And when curiosity dies, so does attraction. Mystery isn't about playing games. It's about control. It's the art of revealing just enough to be understood, but never enough to be fully known. The Stoic man knows that silence creates gravity. It pulls others in. The man who speaks less commands more attention, because people lean in to hear what he doesn't say. When you overshare your dreams, your fears, your plans, you invite interference. Some will use that knowledge to manipulate you. Others will lose respect because you've given them no challenge to uncover. Keep your emotions guarded, your intentions private, and your next move unseen. Let your presence raise questions she can't answer. Let your silence keep her curious, because a man who is an open book gets read, judged, and forgotten, but a man who remains unread, who carries mystery in his eyes and purpose in his silence, becomes unforgettable. Respect isn't spoken into existence, it's earned through restraint. Don't let lust blind your judgment. Beauty fades. Energy doesn't. If her soul drains you, no body can save you. Don't argue. When emotion takes the wheel, logic dies. A Stoic man smiles, walks away, and never looks back. Arguments with emotional people have no winners, only noise. The louder you defend yourself, the smaller your power becomes. When you argue with someone lost in their feelings, you abandon your calm to join their chaos. That's not strength, that's surrender. A Stoic man doesn't waste energy proving what truth will reveal in time. He knows that silence in conflict isn't weakness, it's wisdom. When a woman argues to test your patience, to pull you into her emotional battlefield, your best move is distance, not words, not anger. Distance, because anger is her weapon, but composure is yours. The one who stays calm holds control. The one who reacts loses it. When you stop arguing, you stop feeding the fire. You protect your peace, your focus, your dignity. Walk away, not to escape, but to rise above. Remember, your silence will echo louder than any shout. Let her talk to the wind. Let your calm speak for you. A Stoic man doesn't fight for dominance. He demonstrates it through restraint. And when he walks away, the silence he leaves behind teaches the lesson words never could. Don't return once you've left. The man who goes back to what broke him is not loyal. He's lost. Leaving takes strength, but staying gone takes discipline. The moment you walk away from what drained your soul, the universe tests you. It whispers her name back into your mind. It paints memories softer than they were, and it tempts you to believe this time will be different. But it won't. What broke you once will break you again, only deeper, quieter, and slower. When you return to what hurt you, you tell your pain it was meaningless. You undo your own growth. You trade wisdom for comfort, but comfort is the enemy of evolution. A Stoic man doesn't look back, not because he's cold, but because he's awake. He knows love without peace isn't love at all. He knows that loyalty means nothing if it's given to what destroys him. Don't confuse attachment with devotion. Don't call weakness forgiveness. Some people don't need another chance. They need distance. The man who walks away with purpose walks toward power. The one who turns back walks into the same trap, just wearing different chains. Remember, self-respect begins where repetition ends. Once you leave, never return.